Welcome to Gossip Guide, your ultimate source for anything celebrities. Please subscribe and click the bell button for insights if you are new to my channel. Sophie Turner has finally broken her silence. After months of speculation, headlines, and public scrutiny, the actress has come forward in her first ever in-depth interview, revealing the emotional truth behind her messy divorce from Joe Jonas, and so much more. In this raw and vulnerable conversation, Sophie opens up about everything: how the breakdown of her marriage left her shattered, how she leaned on none other than Taylor Swift to stay afloat, and the moment at 24 when she quietly considered having an abortion, a decision that nearly changed everything. This is Sophie Turner like we've never seen her before, unfiltered, unapologetic, and deeply human. For years, Sophie Turner and Joe Jonas looked like the definition of couple goals. Their wedding in France was straight out of a fairy tale. Their red carpet appearances were full of laughter, chemistry, and matching outfits. But behind the scenes, Sophie now reveals, things were far from perfect. In the interview, Sophie says, "We were growing in different directions. I was trying to rediscover who I was outside of Sansa Stark, and he was clinging to the boy band life. It just didn't work anymore." She described long nights alone while Joe was on tour, conflicts over parenting styles, and, most painfully, the feeling of being emotionally silenced. "There were times I'd cry in the bathroom, and then put on makeup to smile in front of a camera. That kind of life eats you alive." Sophie admitted that by the time their divorce became public, the marriage had already been emotionally over for months. In the middle of the storm, one unexpected person became Sophie's emotional anchor: Taylor Swift. The pop icon famously let Sophie and her kids stay in her NYC apartment during the early stages of the split, but according to Sophie, that was just the beginning. "Taylor saved me," Sophie said, holding back tears. "She gave me space, she gave me silence when I needed it, and advice when I was falling apart. She didn't owe me anything, but she was there. Fully." Sophie even revealed that some of Taylor's new lyrics, particularly in her Tortured Poets Department album, felt like a mirror to what I was going through. There were long nights on Taylor's couch, wine-fueled tears, and late-night dance parties that helped Sophie begin to feel alive again. "I went from feeling abandoned to surrounded. Taylor didn't just give me a place to stay, she gave me hope." Then came the moment that stunned even the interviewer. Sophie opened up about a secret she had never shared publicly, a moment when, at 24 years old, she considered ending a pregnancy. "I was 24, still trying to figure out who I was. I found out I was pregnant, and I wasn't ready. I didn't tell anyone, not even Joe at first." She describes sitting in a clinic parking lot, hands shaking, thinking about what motherhood would mean. "I thought about my career, my body, my mental health, and I thought about the life growing inside me. I sat there for 3 hours. Ultimately, she chose not to go through with it. That pregnancy led to her first daughter, but the decision, and the weight of it, stayed with her. I've never said that out loud before. But I think it's important that people know, it's not black and white. It's not easy, and it changes you." Her voice, full of emotion, reflected a woman still carrying the scars, but also the wisdom that comes with hard choices. Sophie has always been candid about her mental health, and in this interview, she went deeper than ever. She described the postpartum depression she hid, the anxiety that haunted her after giving birth, and the sense of guilt that came from not feeling like a perfect mom. "There were days I didn't want to get out of bed. I'd cry while holding my daughter and feel like the worst person in the world." She talked about therapy, medication, and rebuilding her sense of identity, not as a Jonas wife or a Stark queen, but as Sophie. "I'm not fully healed, but I'm not broken anymore." So what's next for Sophie? She says she's focusing on her kids, her career, and finding joy again, without shame. She's reportedly writing a book, exploring indie film roles, and even considering launching a mental health platform for young women. As for love, right now, "I'm in a relationship with myself. And she's complicated, but worth it. She doesn't regret the past. Not the marriage, not the chaos, not even the silence. Everything I went through brought me back to me. And I finally like who that is." Sophie Turner's interview wasn't just a celebrity tell-all, it was a battle cry. For every woman who's felt lost in love, crushed by motherhood, silenced by fame, or unsure of her own choices, Sophie's story cuts deep and heals even deeper. It's a reminder that strength doesn't always look loud. Sometimes it looks like crying quietly, making impossible choices, and still waking up the next day. Sophie Turner is done being quiet. And the world is finally ready to listen.